Can you start a profitable online business today using TikTok Shop, even if you don't have a product yet? Part of the homework we gave you, can you pick 3 products?
The first product is...
Some of my impressions on Gracie's products were a little shocking.
That's going to put you in a very difficult situation.
For those reasons, your products have to fail.
Today, we're showing you how to build a real product brand.
Search volume's up 1,000%.
From the ground up using TikTok Shop.
And you're going to learn so much from this process.
This is hard because...
She's doing a model where you have to always be working. And if you stop,
oh no,
income pretty much goes to 0. So
my secret sauce at scaling anything on TikTok comes down to...
They really gave me a good comprehensive picture of what to expect.
if she can do it, so can you. Welcome to Scale Stories by Helium 10.
My name is Gracie, and I've been a full-time content creator for about 5 years now. And I started this journey on TikTok around 2020, and since then have expanded to different platforms. And as of recently, as social media is changing and e-commerce is changing, I've been thinking about wanting to start my own brand on TikTok Shop.
Now, there's a couple elephants in the room I want to get out of the way. The first one is, why in the world are you wanting to do something different?
Social media and algorithms always changing. So it's always hard to know what's going to happen even a month from now. And then on the other side, I've been an affiliate for not only Amazon, but millions of other retail brands. And typically, I don't have any equity and I don't own anything of my own. I would love a little bit more stability and something that I can call my own.
The other elephant in the room, I don't want any of you out there hearing, oh, she's got so many followers. This is only for influencers. No, it's not just about the followers. The steps that we're gonna take in this episode, anybody out there can do. Thank you for answering those. How does it feel starting something from 0?
It's daunting. It's a little nerve-wracking, but as I've seen platforms grow and change, there's no better time than right now, if not yesterday.
What excites you most about starting your own brand from scratch?
As an affiliate, so far, it's been a great opportunity to be able to sell anything and everything and not be limited to one thing. But I think I've been craving the ability to create something of my own from scratch and really be a part of the development process and the marketing process and be able to create something that eventually helps a lot of people, improves their lives, and makes a difference.
I think Gracie is somebody super unique. She's doing a model where you have to always be working. And if you stop, income pretty much goes to 0. So I really like her courage in doing something that completely outside of her comfort zone, selling physical products, but it makes sense, her motivation. Now, the goal here of us, especially the mentors, is to help you reach your TikTok Shop goal. If I were to ask you to articulate, what exactly is your goal on TikTok Shop?
We can all kind of manufacture a little viral moment, but I want something that lasts beyond that. I want something that people are talking about and still using years from now. I want something that people are loving so much that they're authentically sharing it with people that they know and their friends and their family. And I think that is the best way of marketing. When you really love something so much, you can't help but be like, this is what I use and I love it.
As women, we have to always be kind of forward-facing in business and looking at what's coming next. And especially as TikTok has changed so much in the last few years, social media has changed so much. And I think a big aspect of that is building a business of her own that she can really use to help stabilize both sides of her business model.
Now, there's 7 steps in order to have success on TikTok Shop, but we're gonna start with one of the first steps, which is finding a product research. Michelle, this is one of your specialties as far as understanding TikTok ability, right?
So when it comes to TikTok ability, the first one is demonstrability. You need to be able to demonstrate the product. The second thing is unique attributes of the product. We can't just roll in with the same old stuff. There has to be something interesting about the product, right? The third thing is that it needs to solve a problem because people are very before and after oriented on the platform. So we want to very quickly be able to identify the problem and the solution to that problem. Fourth thing, if we can pull it off, is serves a passionate audience. On TikTok, there are so many niches. There's so many demographics and personalities and interests on there. And we want to not just be all things to all people. We want to be able to hone in and tell the algorithm who you are and who you serve. People love deals, and that's the 5th key to TikTok ability is that filter of price point. People are price sensitive. They love their deals. And ideally, products are between $30 and $50 to be successful on the platform.
Do you think there's any one factor that is more important or a non-negotiable?
So I think the most important thing is that you don't have to meet all 5 criteria, but you do need all 3, and price is one of them.
Ryan, you've sold millions of dollars on TikTok Shop. What makes a good TikTok Shop product?
I look at this from like a branding perspective. I always say it's one product, it's one unique marketing angle. I would say the biggest mistake that newer sellers make is they try to go way too broad and they try to sell like this watch to everyone on the planet, where this watch is really dedicated towards men who like cars, et cetera, et cetera. So you see how I go down a specific path. The riches are in the niches. That's like an old saying, but it's so true that when you have a very specific target audience in your videos, those videos, the algorithm is going to show it to that exact person. And you have a much higher chance at converting that customer. So for example, in my pickleball business, when I looked at the marketplace, I saw all the paddles were super expensive. And I saw I can source this one carbon fiber pickleball paddle. In my ads and all my videos, it was, this is the highest quality pickleball paddle for under $100. So that's what I want you to start thinking with is what products do you like to sell and how can you uniquely brand them and especially market them to an audience that you already know how to sell to?
What do you say to the people who would say, I want a pickleball paddle, I'd rather have the $20 option than the $100 option?
That's with any business. Any business, there's gonna be a high price one, a low price one, a dirt cheap one. When you brand your products very well, you have clean labels, a unique proposition in the marketplace, you have good images, a good listing, it sets you apart from those Chinese competitors that are selling for dirt cheap. You're gonna have the competition, it's just how do you differentiate yourself? And I think you do that with branding.
Liz, what's your secrets to having a successful TikTok Shop product?
So yeah, I know trending products when I see one, and one of the key things that I look for is what's hot everywhere else, including Amazon, and what's underserved on TikTok. And what I mean by that is TikTok is usually an entertainment platform, right? People go on there, they want to see AI cat videos or Bigfoot and Yeti videos, so they're just getting entertained, correct? But you need to figure out a way that's so compelling that while they're watching all this entertaining things, your brand pops up, your product pops up, and somebody's doing such a great job at demonstrating the product that it literally makes them want to buy it. Now for me, that product was plastic bananas.
How did you sell your plastic bananas?
Interestingly enough, we know that the American child's standard diet consists of bananas and pizza for breakfast, right? So all I did is created a special molded pizza and French fries that had our brand logo on it and made little individual pieces that were very unique. And guess what? I told mothers that this would entertain their child for longer periods of time, and we did it bigger, badder, and better than anyone else.
So meeting the mentors for the first time, I'm really impressed off first impressions. I think they are all knowledgeable. They're really nice. They're easy to work with. So I'm really excited to see what they have to say about everything.
Now, part of the homework we gave you before coming here was, can you pick 3 products? Now, understanding the 3 products that you specifically think of, it gives us even a little bit more idea about what floats your boat when it comes to product design.
The first product is magnetic eyelashes.
Number 2.
There's this thing called the 4-in-1 makeup pen. Third one I was thinking of is a heated eyelash curler.
Liz, what are your thoughts on those products?
I think a lot of those products that you selected are very competitive, so they could potentially cause some issues. Like heaven forbid you get a girl that uses the heated eyelash curler and burns her eyeball. That's gonna put you in a very difficult situation. But nonetheless, you're gonna be competing with tons of sellers, and there's really difficult to make your unique selling proposition or mechanism that would be able to get those to go viral.
A big thing that you need to start thinking with is profit margins, but profit dollars. So a makeup pen sounds like it could be like $5, $10, $15. You wanna aim for products at least $19.99, $24.95, $29.99. That way you have enough profit dollars. Why that number is important to have a big profit dollar number is because you have extra costs like ad spend, shipping costs to the customer, affiliate commissions, et cetera, et cetera. So you need to have enough profit dollars to actually make money at the end of the day. I'm sure there's a makeup pen out there that sells for $100. I don't know. But as long as you're thinking with that in your products that we need to sell this for at least $19 for it to work out, that's good.
With everything you've heard so far, how's the confidence level? You think you can find her a product that what she's looking for, but still profitable and hit all the TikTok ability things?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let it out.
All right. So with that being said, what I'd like to do is start understanding the process. And just like it is on other platforms, there's not like one exact formula, for finding opportunity on TikTok Shop? What are the steps to actually go out and find that? Liz, you want to start?
One of the things that I like to use is one of the OG ways, which is go through Amazon and look at the hot new releases and the movers and shakers. I'm looking for products that sell on several different platforms. So one of the tools that I like to use is called Exploding Topics. And what that basically does is it grabs data from all sorts of sites and shows you things that are doing well. And then finally, I go back to, Bradley's gonna love this. I use good old Helium 10 to confirm my findings.
What if we find something that's trending or viral right now, but then it kind of dies down and goes away?
This is gonna be your first product. This is also tuition for an education that elsewhere would cost you. You wanna ask me how much that cost? A little too much. However, the point is that you have to pay tuition in order to learn from the School of Hard Knocks. And for me, the tuition that I've had to pay Amazon has rewarded me handsomely over and over again. And you're gonna learn so much from this process that if you don't nail it this time, you're going to nail it the second or the third time and so forth. And most people, they stop at that step. And that is the absolute most important step. That's all it takes.
Now is the time for TikTok Shop. It's kind of like Amazon was back in the early 2010s when not many people were selling on it. It was kind of like the wild, wild west. If you can get a foothold now, you are going to be set up for years to come because that platform is still in its infancy. Ryan, what's your product research strategy?
I'm a little bit more like old school, not as fancy. I don't use too many tools. What I basically do is open up my Instagram, in this case, TikTok Shop, and just scroll on my For You page and click on products, see how many units they're selling, see if the videos have millions of views, if there's engagements in the comments. And that's how I like to look for things that are trending or things that are popping off. And then how I validate it is I actually use Helium 10 for Amazon as well. I'll see if there's any traction, how many units, what revenue is being sold on Amazon. And if they're both clicking in the right direction, I'm like, okay, that's something to look into. Or the number one checkbox you have to hit when doing product research and validation is making sure the numbers work. Profit margin is everything in a business. And if you're not leaving enough profit dollars and enough profit margin on the table at the end of the day to actually take home and make money, you're going to lose money and you're going to do all this work for no reason. You need to leave money for advertising, shipping, commissions, etc. if you actually want to make this a real successful business and put money in your pocket at the end of the day.
Now, we're gonna huddle up in our conference room, and what I'd like you to do is find a couple of products that you think Gracie would like to sell, but that still hit your criteria of what would make a TikTok Shop product. But for you, Ryan, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. How about you take Gracie's ideas, those 3 products she had, and just run it through some criteria using some of the things you talked about, and then maybe seeing if that is gonna be one of the ideas that we can move forward with. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I'd like to see Ryan curling his hair.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
little disappointed that he's not gonna be searching in the beauty category.
I think the biggest challenge for Gracie is going from creator to brand owner because they're 2 very different things. As a creator, you're going from one product to the next, and you have multiple chances per week to make new videos on new products. Where as a brand owner, you now have this one product that you got to figure out how to make 10 different videos around this one product.
All right, you guys have been at it for a while, but I wanted to bring Gracie in for a little bit here just to get a little sneak peek at how you tackle the product research. Michelle, what do you have here? It looks like you're in Seller Center in TikTok Shop.
Yeah, so obviously this is the TikTok Shop Seller Center, and I want to show you kind of some of the tools that TikTok has available to sellers. Here we are in the analytics area, and you get here by going to the product tab and then selecting TikTok bestsellers. Now, earlier you talked about beauty and personal care and that being an interest to you. So I wanted to just kind of explore and see within the last 30 days what opportunities there are on here. Now, I just want to explain kind of what you're seeing. We have the GMV column, which is basically revenue, clicks, click-through rate, the shop that it's from, and then similar products. The way that I look at this is where does opportunity meet lack of competition, right? So the fact that TikTok will actually tell us if there are similar products is kind of a very interesting way of looking at this. Because this data is already sorted by top performing from a sales perspective, then I'm just gonna go down this list, and I already have been doing this. Here's one that's for curly hair, you know, Dream Coat for curly hair, but it's got like 180 similar products. So I'm probably not gonna look at that that one. Yep, right. Definitely some interesting products here. But this one really kind of stopped me in my tracks, right? Like that beauty 4-in-1 pen kind of concept. I love anything that's like a grab and go.
Yeah.
Right? This is that a hair and frizz gel taming wand. And here it says there's only 4 similar products. And I'm kind of like, okay, that's really interesting. So from a GMV perspective, this is doing very well. Now I'm interested in what's going on from a content perspective inside of TikTok. So as we know, TikTok and TikTok Shop are separate platforms.
Right.
TikTok is the user experience. TikTok Shop is the seller experience. So now I want to go into Creator Search Insights and kind of find out what's going on there. TikTok.com/inspiration is how we get there. And essentially what I did was take frizz tamer as a topic and search for it overall just to see what kind of content is popping up. And you can see here that we have the search topics, popularity, and some other actions that we can take. And one that really popped out to me was like the content around how to stop frizz. So you can see here it has a 90,000 search volume, and that search volume is up 1,000%. So this is a trending topic overall that we can look into and take advantage of. So here's the how to stop frizz page. You can see the relevant demographic information. And you have to remember that TikTok is also like a global platform. So this is pulling data in from all over the world. I have a really hard time believing that there's only 4 competitors for this product. So I really want to then go to external tools to validate this. So I'm going to pop open my Helium 10 and take a look at what the true competitive landscape looks like and see if there's some additional opportunities for us to explore.
I think for somebody new to TikTok Shop who comes from the Amazon world, it's kind of surprising to see how much data that TikTok Shop gives the sellers right there in their own platform. Like they'll tell you how much products are related to a certain product, exactly how much sales they've had.
Essentially what I did was I just did a quick Amazon search of all the products, and I was just looking for MSRPs, right? Selling prices, do products have good reviews or not? And then did a quick Alibaba search to see what we could actually source the product for. So Alibaba is like an Amazon, but for finding factories overseas or around the world. And this is where you can source any kind of product. Coming back to my notes here, the common theme, unfortunately, is your products were just too cheap, meaning their selling prices were not high enough. So let's break down that math. Okay. The goal with any product is 70% gross margins, ideally 75%, but you can get away with 70%. And what that basically means is revenue or your selling price minus your landed costs, so what we could source it for, and then you divide that by your landed costs to get a percentage, which is that gross revenue. So let's take the heated eyelash curler, for example. I saw that we can source it for around $4. Okay. Right? Some are 5, some are 2, some are 1. You have to keep in mind that's what the product costs, but then you actually have to ship it from China. So you typically want to look for smaller products, but this is a smaller product. It works. Average selling price was about $15 minus $4 gives us $11 of profit dollars. Now here's the kicker, right? It meets the 70% gross margin, right? 73% gross margins, but you need a lot of profit dollars to successfully run ads, have enough money to have free shipping. And these products realistically only have about $10 to $11 of profit dollars, which is not a lot.
And working with creators, that cuts into margin, right?
Right, so you gotta send free samples, you gotta run ads, you gotta work with creators and pay commissions. So all that stuff even further cuts into that. That's why you want a lot of profit dollars. So I basically made a note here saying you typically want at least $15 to $20 of profit dollars, which is why I suggest selling things for $24.99, $29.99. And the other thing is, if you're selling products typically under $19.99, you have to charge a shipping fee to make it work. Could this be done? Yes. But we want to find the most optimal solution for you. Better to X them out now than get into it too deep later and then have it fail on you. We got to scrap these, but I know my colleagues here are working on some good product suggestions for you, so I think we can still make it work.
All right, so I see you're on the Amazon hot new releases, which you were talking about out there. What are you looking at?
So I look at a couple of things, Bradley, because at first, the big thing that I'm interested is just compiling this huge list of products, right? I don't want to look at what they cost. I don't want to look at any of that stuff first. I want to just generate ideas. So the easiest way that I like to do that is the OG method, which is looking at the Amazon hot new releases and the movers and shakers. And it's pretty much just going through here and jotting down anything that catches my attention could potentially work, right? And of course, since Gracie said she was interested in the beauty category, I'll go into beauty and personal care and then just tackle both of those for hot new releases and movers and shakers.
How did you even find this on Amazon?
I just Google it.
Or you Google it and then it puts the link.
It's almost hidden, but it's like an OG Amazon source.
releases.
Yeah,
I
or-
also haven't seen this page before.
or Amazon movers and shakers. And after you Google it and you get here, you'll notice that if we go back over here, it's going to give us bestsellers, new releases, movers and shakers, most wished for, and gift ideas.
This could help you with your influencer business too.
Absolutely.
And there was already a couple things that did catch my attention. One of those things was something that one of my sourcing agents from China came to me and they said these press-on nails. So that's something that I'm definitely looking at because that's got that TikTokable thing that Michelle always talks about, which I think is terrific. And then after I go to the second tool that I use, which is Helium 10, right? Once I go into Helium 10, what I'm gonna do is validate some of those ideas. I'll pretty much do is I'll just copy and paste any keywords that I thought could potentially make sales. So bald spot hair remover, bald spot hair powder, and I'll just get keywords. And I want to see what this comes back with and tells me. When I have it run a new search, what I'm pretty much looking for here is to further get some better data. So I'll do a magnet IQ score of 5,000, which is a Helium 10 metric that you want to do. And I want to make sure that this has search volume. So I'll put something in there. And I also want to make sure that there are sales being generated. And then I'll just apply those filters. And then I want to look and see what pops up so that I know what's going on.
Are these the metrics that you use for every search?
I basically use them to validate the idea. So the key thing is anytime this has anything over 10,000, that tells me that it's a pretty good product and there's a lot of people searching for it.
You've been seeing mentors using Helium 10 a lot in this episode. If you want to use Helium 10, sign up at helium10.com so you can get started on your TikTok shop journey.
So now that I see that there's a couple brands that are doing pretty well, then I further look at those brands on Amazon. When I went across this, something really caught my eye. You'll see that Boldify and several other brands just dominate this space. They have tens and tens of thousands of reviews. Most people would be afraid to jump in there.
Yeah, that's
but
intimidating.
it definitely can be. But then I noticed this right here. These guys aren't even on page one. They have 29 reviews. And I noticed that they had $43,000 in sales. So what does that tell me? They're probably getting all their traffic from TikTok. And then again, with Helium 10, we just verify that although these brands are making money on TikTok, the most of their money is coming from Amazon. And we want to do the opposite. We want to start on TikTok, and they've already proven that we can expand over into Amazon and make sales regardless the number of reviews.
Awesome. Well, guys, this is great. I know you're still trying to narrow things down, but I'm super excited to see what the final products are. And you know what? Some of these products, I'm thinking like a Ulta or Sephora down the street might even have some of these. So wouldn't it be cool to maybe like check out packaging and see the size of it and stuff?
We can use it. We can see the formula. I'd love to do that.
All right, I'm gonna ask Carrie to go run down to the store and pick some of this up. And hopefully by the time you guys are ready, we'll be able to see some of these products.
Perfect. So I thought this group of mentors was great cohesively. So they all have their own expertise and they all have their own strengths. So I thought together, they really gave me a good comprehensive picture of what to expect and a good plan of what action steps to take too.
Welcome back, mentors. Thank you so much for your hard work in there. Before we reveal some of the products that you've chosen for Gracie, which I'm really excited about, if you recall, I had sent someone out to get some of these products. Liz, what were the products that you narrowed things down to for Gracie while you were working out there?
Press-on nails.
Okay.
And the reason for that is like girls everywhere are starting to want to use something different on their nails as opposed to getting gel at the salon, which could damage your nails over time. So
I'll take your word for that.
Number 2 was the root touch-up. This is great for people that have both male and female, want to cover up a spot or just they want to touch up their roots. So this comes in real handy for a lot of things.
Right off the bat, I know it's 2 smaller products. I would imagine that those are. So, that's definitely going to save on shipping if we go with either of them. All right, you weren't looking for products, but you were rather validating some of the product ideas that Gracie had. What did you find?
Products that we were validating was the magnetic lashes, the 4-in-1 makeup pen, and the heated eyelash curler. While they were all great products, they failed checkbox, which is the profit dollars. They all had great profit margins, like 75% plus profit margins, but there weren't enough profit dollars, meaning they were all like $9.99 to $14.99 products. There's not enough room to cover your shipping costs, affiliate commissions, and ad spend. So for those reasons, your products had to fail.
Makes sense.
Your feelings aren't hurt, Gracie?
Just a little bit.
Now, that might not always happen, but some things you can do to be profitable during launch is have your numbers dialed in, have a few different ad creatives to test in the beginning. So a few different marketing angles to see which one your audience resonates with the best. and then find the one that works and run with that, double down and make more of those videos or ads. And that can help you be profitable when you first launch.
We're already eliminating products right here.
Yeah.
So Michelle, I hope you've got some viable ones for us.
Makeup bag. I know it doesn't look like one, but this is actually called adhesive cloth. There's no magnets, there's no glue or anything. It's just more of kind of this felt, it sticks to itself. The reason why I like this, not only is it very demonstrable, but it serves a specific kind of audience on TikTok, which of course is really critical. And I do like that there are opportunities to customize this for different looks and different styles. The other product that I found was the frizz taming stick. When your hair gets a little out of control, we would use something like this to quickly tame those flyaways. And one of the reasons I like it is it's very easy to demonstrate, very before and after oriented, and the price point on it is very good.
Can we get from 4 to 3?
Bradley, after having seen some of these other ideas, I think the nails, I kind of don't like the idea so much anymore. And that's particularly because the conversation we had before of having multiple SKUs. And when it comes to nails, it comes down to matching a person's style. So it's kind of can present a problem, how we talked about. And although I know that it's hot right now, there is a ton of people doing them. And so as a result of that, I think that would probably be one that I would just eliminate myself.
We have consensus. We now have the top 3. Now, how do we decide what is the final product? What do you guys think about playing a game to do that?
Yes.
All right. You're probably been wondering since you got back, what in the world are these green and red buttons? Well, it has to do with a game we play here called Scale or Fail. We've got 3 products. We just use AI to generate the pictures. And then we've got 5 categories that we're gonna say scale, yes, or fail, no. TikTokability, like how demonstrable is the product? What's the competition level on TikTok Shop? What about the Amazon demand? Are there searches happening for this product on Amazon? Are there a lot of sales happening? What about the differentiation potential? And then the last one is budget fit. We had said at the outset, Gracie's budget was going to be around $5,000, which is what she wanted to start with. So basically, the person who found the product is going to have about 10, 15 seconds to talk about why he or she feels that it's a scale or a fail. And then all I need is 2 mentors to give me a scale or a fail. And then that's what I'm going to put on there. So you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. The first one here is the root powder. I believe that's Liz. Is it TikTokable?
Yeah, I believe it is. You can easily do a before and after. Like, here's my hair before, here it is after. There's nothing more magical than being able to show that difference.
Agreed?
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
All right. It's unanimous. It is a scale. Next up, we have our makeup bag. I believe that's Michelle here. Is it TikTokable?
Yeah, it's very demonstrable. So the unique features on that are somewhat indescribable, I would say. So I was like, what?
To me, it's like, hey, I'm
Magic.
taking a baby blanket and somehow putting something in it and making it a bag. That's pretty TikTokable to me.
I agree, I agree.
Sounds like we're in consensus. You guys know what to do. It's another scale. All right, next up, the Frizz Tamer, TikTokable.
Yeah, absolutely. The before and after in this, it sells itself.
Team?
Agreed.
Love it. Let's move on to the next category, which is competition level. Liz, how is the competition on TikTok Shop for the root powder?
Where it's underserved on TikTok, even though it's gone completely just bananas on Amazon. In TikTok, there is still room to grow with this, so that's why I absolutely love it.
Speak to me with the buttons. Makeup bag competition level.
This is the part where this bag, blanket, whatever it is a fail for me. There's so much saturation in the makeup bag market. And I really, at the end of the day, I want something that can live on for you and not be just a flash in the pan. Oh, it's cool, but it's lost its appeal.
How can you build a brand off of a piece of cloth?
That's what I was gonna say is like the barrier of entry to make this product is so low that anyone can go out and source this, which usually leads to high competition. So
I have a feeling this is the first time X marks the spot. Talk to me, guys. Liz kind of like had a half vote there, but we are gonna go ahead and count that as a fail. Last up, the Frizz Tamer. Michelle, what's it like on TikTok?
So on TikTok, there really isn't a lot of competition. There are a few major players, but they're borderline professional brands, and with that comes professional pricing. As we know, TikTok is very price sensitive, and the middle market and middle Americans who, I'm an everyday mom, I'm an everyday consumer, I just wanna look pretty, but on a budget, budget.
Are you in agreement?
Total agreement.
Sounds good. Hit that green. And let's talk about what's going on Amazon. Is there search demand for this? Liz, what did you find out about on Amazon for the root powder?
You know, this is one of those sneaky products. There's incredible search demand on Amazon. It shows that it's a real legit niche. Sometimes when you have something that's that hot on Amazon, you should start it on TikTok. The absolute perfect product to do that exact thing. This is just think of beauty as this gigantic category, right? Where you have several sub layers of it. You've got hair, skin, nails, you got all sorts of cosmetic accessories. Everything that you can imagine is in this sub niche, right? You wouldn't want to just straight off the top start selling a cleanser because a cleanser is at the absolute almost top. You'd want to sub niche it down. There's cleansers for different skin types, for different complexions, for different colors of skin. And as a new seller, you really want to go down to the lowest one. There are not a lot of people that are focused on that lowest one, and you can literally carve out that sub niche and dominate that space by just selling to one person.
Give me that check mark. What did you see on Amazon for the makeup bag?
This is hard because that cloth, I think the problem is like that we've been having trying to describe it. And everything on Amazon is about search term and being easy to find. What the heck do you call that thing? Because if you try to search for makeup bag, you're gonna find a whole lot that's not that. If I'm honest with myself, it's not an opportunity.
A fail for her, okay. Talk to me with your buttons. All right, hair frizz, what did you see about this product?
We can definitely see growth in the market in around the relevant search terms. So as we're looking in Helium 10, it's really obvious that it has some seasonality to it. So there's lots of search terms to help people find it as well.
Tell me the answer in your button. All right, we're going to the next category now, which is differentiation potential. Liz, do you think there's a way to differentiate the root powder?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, the number one thing that stands out to me is to add a volumizing agent or just talk about the volumizing agent aspect to it because there's nothing that women love more than more hair. The bigger, the better. So for me,
write that down for my personal notes. Okay, please
for
continue.
me, it's an absolute must, and I can definitely see females going just absolutely bonkers over this.
Scale or fail, guys, show me. So Michelle, makeup bag, was there differentiation potential that you thought about with it?
Not enough differentiation to Ryan's point, not be quickly copied and the death spiral into improfitability.
Speak to me with the buttons. It is a fail, okay.
I'm disappointed that they don't like the makeup adhesive bag cloth, and I really liked it. It's something I'd personally seen on TikTok before. I was really excited that it was like one of the final products that we were considering. But I kind of get what they're saying about it's light, it's easy, and it's simple, but that might be a negative with competition and profitability.
Last but not least on this category, we've got the Frizz Tamer differentiation potential. Michelle, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, hands down, one of the easy ways, I think, is just like with the root powder of making it colorable. And so I think it would be very easy to add, make this specific to hair color type.
Scale or fail, guys?
Scale.
Budget fit. All right, so this was, her budget is $5,000. When you just did a brief look, I don't know if you were using Alibaba or the Helium 10 supplier finder, but was there anything that told you, hey, this is priced way out of her budgetary?
No, it's not going to cost more than a couple dollars, so it definitely fits the budget 100%.
Yeah.
All right, show me that button. So a perfect score in the scale and fail game. It's happened before. But we actually have another one that still could potentially get a perfect score. But before we get to it, let's go to the makeup bag. What did you find there, Michelle? Was that pretty cheap too?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really special about it. So yeah, a few dollars.
Definitely fits our budget. Hit that check mark. All right, it all comes down to this. Is the root powder gonna win because the Frizz Tamer fails, or are we gonna have a scale and fail first time ever tie? All right, Michelle, it's up to you and what you found.
Yeah, it's gel in a tube with a mascara wand. This is costing less than $1.
Wow. All right, make it official. Wow, history in the making.
Wow.
At scale and fail. Grace,
no.
you're gonna launch 2 products and you're gonna have to, no, I'm just playing. What you're gonna have to do, Gracie, tie goes to the runner. You are gonna have to pick which one.
My conclusion of the 2 things that I've considered are, I think with the Frizz Tamer Wand. My fear with it is that the price point, even if we sneak under the premium well-known brand, it still might not be enough to have free shipping. And if buyers have to pay for shipping, we might lose the sale to other retailers or other brands like Amazon. So that's one thing I don't want to happen. The other thing is I feel like with the root touch-up powder, it can help a lot of women because it covers up roots, it covers up thinning hair. It also can, make it a little bit longer between getting your hair done if you get your hair colored. And I think that kind of resonates with me. Considering those two things, I'm really leaning towards the root touch-up powder.
Wow, I think we have a winner, guys. The root touch-up powder is the scale and fail winner for the first time.
Wow.
Going to the tiebreaker.
Yay.
Let's give Gracie a hand for choosing that. Awesome, awesome.
Something really valuable for me that I saw during the sourcing process today was how the mentors took it from beginning to end. How we looked at overall ideas and then narrowed down the ones that we liked and then validated them with real numbers and real data and research from all those research tools like Helium 10. So not only do I know okay, I like this product and it could be a good idea, but I actually know that it's backed and researched.
Up until now, as you know, we have been talking about a $5,000 budget because that's what Gracie said she wanted to do. But got a surprise for you, Gracie. Stay right there. Helium 10 would like to help you get started a little bit more by giving you a check for your first TikTok Shop product of $10,000. Here you go, Gracie.
Wow, congratulations. Thank you so much.
You deserve it, Gracie.
Thank you. I wanted a picture with the check. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we played a great game, found a great product. We had a great surprise that I said is gonna affect this next section, and that is budgeting. Let's just speak in general terms, plus with her product in mind. Who would like to talk about how we break down that $10,000 budget?
So I can touch on that. I started my fishing brand with just a couple $100, and it turned into this pretty big business, which is exciting, right? You have a much bigger head start getting a check for 10 grand to start this. So you really gotta break it down into a couple categories. Number one, you're gonna have to buy inventory. So I'd say conservatively, you can go $3,000 to $5,000 for inventory of your 10K budget. Probably gonna wanna set aside another $3,000-ish for ad costs and sample costs, right? Because on TikTok Shop, you gotta give free samples to creators. And then you can probably set aside another $2,000 to $3,000 for excess business operations. You don't know what's gonna come up. You need to pay a graphic designer for something. So I think that's a good foundation.
Ryan, did you find your original products on Alibaba, or how did you source them? Do you remember?
We actually did use Alibaba. So my method that I use is typically I'll do a basic search on Alibaba of the product I want. I'll find 3 factories or 3 suppliers. I like to check the box at Alibaba that says verified suppliers. I'll basically type up one message saying, hey, I'm looking to sell this product, a business in the United States, send the same templated message, and then just see who reaches out to you. Because a lot of suppliers kind of are slow. There's some lazy suppliers, there's some good suppliers. See who responds well to you and see who seems interested in your business, and then make your final decisions.
All right, I like it. We're gonna get a lot more into detail when we do some follow-up episodes where we're actually gonna write some of those emails, maybe even get some responses back and let you know what you're supposed to be looking for on Alibaba when you're sourcing. Michelle, different types of fulfillment. What are the options on TikTok Shop?
The options that you have are 3PLs. You can send it into Amazon and have them fulfill it. You can fulfill it yourself if you are scrappy like that and feel like spending some time shipping some products. What's not available to you is FBT. So FBT is fulfilled by TikTok, and you have to hit a certain level of sales before FBT unlocks for you. I don't recommend using FBT during launch because you're gonna be sending out a lot of samples. You can get into what's called negative balance territory really quickly that then can result in you losing access to things like the affiliate program. So I actually really advise people to wait to get into FBT until they've hit at least 20K in revenue and have that momentum built.
One little cool tip that I like to use is finding a local 3PL to you. That way you can visit them, you can see your inventory in the warehouse, you can put your hands on it. It's a very fulfilling feeling to see your stuff in a warehouse rather than shipping it to Amazon where you have no idea where it goes.
It's really important for Gracie to start thinking about things like outsourcing because one person cannot do it all. Outsourcing is going to not only free up your time, energy, and all your resources in order to do the best possible job that you can at that one thing that you should focus on. Because Because at the end of the day, that's where all the money is becoming a professional at that one thing and allowing all the rest to be done by other people.
All right, so to summarize everything, we're gonna give a 6-step launch framework. We understand that there's a lot more steps, but this is a easy way to kind of view the whole TikTok shop process. So the first thing we did today, that's the product research. Started out with, hey, what am I passionate about? But then we have to validate it, which is what Ryan did. We were using tools like Helium 10 to look at data. We looked inside of TikTok Shop to check data points like search volume and how many videos go for a certain niche, etc. We did cross-platform testing. We looked, hey, how is the demand on Amazon? And then we took products and narrowed down by using a rubric. Ask yourself, is that product TikTokable? Is it able to be differentiated? Does it fit in my budget? These are all important aspects that kind of close out that product research. Now, step 2, the pricing strategy. Ryan, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so how I would price a product, there's kind of like 3 simple steps. Number 1 is look at the marketplace. Like go do an Amazon search, go do a TikTok shop search and just see what competitors are selling at. You're then gonna take your product costs. You gotta see what you can source it for and then basically run it through a simple formula to see if you achieve a 70% or more gross margin, because that's the whole goal. Finally, how you actually decide what price you want to sell. You can take your highest competitor, your lowest competitor, go probably somewhere in the middle as long as you have the correct margins that work. That's how you land on that price.
Ryan, you're on a roll. Why don't you go ahead and take step 3, listing and product development.
Yeah, so now that you have the price, you have the product, you got to create a listing for the product. The most important image on any listing is your hero image. You can be scrappy. You don't have to hire a full team. For the first 3 years of my business, I did all the photography myself, and I'm by no means an expert. Even now, like we launched a product a couple months ago, and I did the product shot with my iPhone, a little bit of Canva, a little bit of background remover, you're good. And then 5 infographics. So that can show the product features, the weight, the dimensions. You want 5 of those on your listing. So after those infographics, you're gonna create 5 bullet points. The reason I like 5 bullet points is that's what Amazon uses. And that's like the standard in the industry now is find 5 ways to describe the features of your product, how to use the product, the dimensions of the product in 5 simple bullet points. Keep it simple, 1 to 2 lines each bullet point. And then you're gonna wanna create a video, a hero video for your product, right? Talk about your product, show all the features and benefits of the product, and that's gonna be your main listing video.
The most important thing on TikTok is that you have seconds to capture attention. So the most important thing about your product has to be unique features.
Talk about step 4, the shop setup and pre-traffic foundations.
Yeah, it's so critical. So many sellers think TikTok and immediately start creating content. But the reality is you want to make sure that you are launching your listing with the best potential for conversions, right? You don't want to send traffic to an unoptimized listing, right? And all of that starts from the moment that you register for the business in the first place. There are so many hiccups that can happen during business registration and category authorization as well. And you want to just make sure that you provide all the documentation the way that TikTok requests it, because you don't want to be in the midst of building momentum and have your account shut down for little things, right? After you're done with registration, then you go to shipping and fulfillment setup. But it's really critical because the last thing you want is to have this momentum and then having your fulfillment and your shipping setup totally screw you over and affect your shop performance score.
Shop violations is something to take very seriously. Just from day one, like don't take them as warnings. You want to follow the rules. I remember the first year of TikTok Shop, we did $50,000 in 1 day on a product.
Wow.
3 days later, my shop got completely shut down from some like customer response violation.
There's 3 aspects of your shop performance score: your fulfillment rate, your review rate, and your customer service rate. Those are the 3 that contribute towards your shop performance score, and your shop performance score determines everything that you have access to within the platform itself.
All right, Liz, you're an expert on step 5 here, which is the traffic strategy, content testing. What can you teach Gracie about that section?
The number one thing that you need to be concerned with as a creator and as a brand owner is there are 3 basic types of videos that every brand should be producing. When you make these, you get what I like to call TikTok's retargeting gold mine, which means if you do these kinds of videos, TikTok will help you push your product. Best way that we execute them in my agency is through in-house content creation. Once you have that down, which you do already, then that puts you well ahead of the game. But if you don't, you can still create an affiliate army, which is the goal of any brand. It should be to create an affiliate army that sells for them while they do anything else. And then the final piece to all this is putting on what TikTok calls GMV ads. TikTok's algorithm is so good at finding your buyers that it will actually optimize your ads to sell for you. It's just that simple.
And the breakout series will show you how to do that just in minutes with Helium 10 as well.
It's amazing.
Step 6, launch and scale. Michelle, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, and I know that there's a lot of talk in the space, especially when you're getting started, about not wanting to have to send samples out to create content. And I think it's really key just to understand that content is king on the platform, not creators. The more content that you are able to contribute, the shoppable posts, and being able to produce enough content that over time the algorithm can figure out who your audience is for and be able to serve it to them better. Looking at the overall performance of the content itself will really help you refine and define the scripting of your videos and what's converting and what's not.
Do you think there's a certain number of pieces of content from affiliates that you should have before you start using GMV Max ads?
I like to tell my clients like 10 to 20 pieces of well-researched, well-created content from a scripting standpoint to start with, and give the algorithm time to test that, usually over a week or two.
Liz, anything you add to this section?
My secret sauce at scaling anything on TikTok comes down to live selling. Live stream is the future. So anybody that's out there thinking about jumping on right now, don't listen to all the Chicken Littles out there, because I can tell you for a fact, the sky certainly ain't falling.
All right, sounds like there's no better time to get started
like
on
it.
TikTok shopping. A bonus or extra step here, number 7, can be considered like the affiliate and creator strategy. So like reaching out to people like you. Who'd like to talk about that?
So I'll take this one because I make a lot of content myself for my own brands, both on my own affiliate page and my brand pages. Whoever's watching this, right, Gracie's not gonna have a hard time with making her own content because she's done this before. I know people are scared to get on camera, but if you want to sell a TikTok shoppable product, like just get over your fear, put up the selfie camera and make 10 videos. Like what's the worst thing that's gonna happen is you might make some sales. If you're gonna start a TikTok shop business, you have to get in front of the camera yourself as the brand owner, as the business owner. That's a hot take. I know some people don't like it, but I preach it a lot. Now, how you actually get good at this affiliate strategy is you actually help your affiliates and you show them what's working. Be like, hey, use these hooks. Talk about this feature of the product. So for the root cover up, say, hey, show your bald spot, cover it up, and that's gonna work really well. So if you can coach your affiliates, that's how you get this massive wave of really good converting content coming from yourself, your brand page, your affiliate page, and then all these other affiliates. At the end of the day, if you put in the work and follow the step-by-step process that we're giving you for free as mentors in these videos, and you actually put in the work, watch the videos, but go put in the work, you can 100% make it possible to have a successful business and achieve your biggest, wildest dreams.
I really would hope to create a product people love and want to share, and show that you can take something from scratch and use the right product and use the right strategy and create something really real from it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow the rest of Scale Stories.